We are now recording again. All right, the second session of our seminar today is going to be hands-on nuts and bolts. I hope I've convinced you, or that all of us have convinced you to this point, that screencasting is worth doing, that the pedagogy is sound, that it will allow you to do things, marvelous things, that you actually have time, skill, and patience to do. But we still need to know how to do it. And I'm here to tell you that that is clearly the simplest part of this seminar. Screencasting is easy. It's the easiest form of multimedia production there is. Again, all it requires is a computer. At minimum, all it requires is a computer and a microphone and a piece of software. We've talked about the microphone, the computer you already have, and now we're about to talk about there's some options for screencasting. And some of these you're going to be able to do yourselves. So I'm going to share my screen again here. Get some of this stuff out of the way. And get back to my desktop here.
Got a question coming in. Yeah.
Very good.
Is there a microphone headset that would be good for a classroom screencast? Something that can move around the classroom, wireless Bluetooth, so students can see the shared screen. Is it all that would be needed?
Okay, there we're talking about lecture capture. And yes, there are good microphones for that. You can buy wireless headset microphones. They do tend to be a bit more expensive. They're in the $50 to $100 range on average, but they work quite well. If you want really good wireless sound, you have to pay a little more, and you can use a professional wireless lavalier or headset microphone transmitter receiver setup with a digital audio interface where you can plug the microphone output into the converter box that then feeds the audio to the computer through a USB cable. Getting into that is $300 or $400 for decent quality. So yes, you can do wireless, but it's going to cost you a little bit to get decent sound. And let me say that decent sound is critical. People will put up with fuzzy video. They won't put up with bad sound when they're watching the video. They can take it if the video is a little fuzzy, but if the sound's bad, they'll just tune it out or they'll shut it off right away. Guaranteed. That answer your question, Claudia? I'll take that as a yes.
Well, yeah, there's been no response.
Okay. Very good.
Yes, you did.
Good. Thank you. All righty. The first screencasting tool we're going to talk about is one of the easiest, and it's one that is free to you because we have this system here at the district. You can use this system to your heart's content, entirely gratis. And the system in question is called TechSmith / Camtasia Relay. It's a server-based screencasting system, and you start off by going to the server, whose URL is, and you don't have to write any of this down. We have all of these tutorials online on that Get Real website. Everything you need to know about how to get started with Camtasia Relay is on there. You'll find yourself wondering why you came to see the meat puppet.
Donuts.
Donuts. There had to be a reason. Camtasia.sdccd.edu. We will provide you with a username and password for Camtasia Relay or TechSmith Relay, as you prefer. They've rebranded it. TechSmith is the company that makes Camtasia. We'll provide you with an account for free. All you have to do is ask. For today's purposes, if you do not already have a Camtasia Relay account, and some of you do, I know, but if you don't have one, you can use an account, one of our training accounts that Michael created for us. They are numbered to Training 1 through Training 20. Let's just try to randomize that. Pick something in the middle of the range. If two people pick the same account at the same time, it should work, but it's better probably if you don't. I'm not going to try to micromanage that. And it's just the word training, lowercase, and then the number 1 through 20. No leading zeros or anything like that, just simple. And the password is SDCCD for all the accounts. All lowercase, SDCCD.
What's the username? Sorry.
Username is training 1 through 20. Training 1, training 2, training 3, training 20.
Just one digit?
One digit or two. But no leading zeros. That's right. You may, or you may just, I'm going to ask you to get in there sooner or later, but you don't have to right now. So I'm going to log in as me. I'm the manager. I've been on there for a while. See if I can remember my password. You log in same way you would to Blackboard, not with the same account, though, or the same account credentials. And you get to the TechSmith Relay homepage. You won't be using this much. Mainly, you're going to use it when you first get started. What we're going to do here is download a recorder client. That recorder client goes onto your computer, and that's where you do the actual recording. The server does the back end. When you finish the recording, you send the video to the server, and the server, the TechSmith Relay system, puts the video wherever you want it automatically. And it's unbelievably easy. So you won't be in here that often, but to get started at home, especially, you have to get your TechSmith Relay recorder client. And you'll find those under the Client Downloads menu at the top of near the top of the screen. Just click Client Downloads. And it's smart enough to realize I'm on a Windows machine, but there's also a Mac recorder. If you were on a Mac, it would give you the option to download the Mac recorder. So I'll just show this very quickly. We'll click Windows Download. Since I'm in Firefox, it asks me to save the file. I can put it anywhere I want. I'll put it in Downloads. Very quick hit. Those of you here in the lab, of course, that client's already on the machine, but you can reinstall it if you want to do that. Don't hurt anything. Those of you at home can follow along if you wish. Please, Rick.
At a city, if we have a computer in the office, we usually have to ask district.
If you write with an office computer, you will have to get IT to load the client for you. That's one option. There's also the portable TechSmith Relay portable recorder, which you can put on a thumb drive. You plug the thumb drive into any computer, whether you have, it doesn't matter whether you have install rights or not, like the computer in your office or the computer in your classroom. You can plug that thumb drive in and run the recorder from the thumb drive. The recorder stores the video on the thumb drive. Then you take the recorder, you take the thumb drive out, take it home, and plug it into your computer that has the Relay client on it, and it automatically sends it to the server. So there's a way around it. Good question.
You try it out on this.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because like in some of the labs, they won't let you run off of a USB. And for my students try to create programs.
Yeah.
Because they're afraid the students going to...
They could disable that. But it's not likely to be disabled in any class, in any instructor's computer in a classroom.
I could try it and see the same.
That'd be cool. Thank you. Generally not. But I imagine there are some open labs and so on where they won't let the students plug in a thumb drive and run something off of it. But that's not likely to be a major impediment in most cases, because the students can also take this. Anybody associated with the SDCCD can use TechSmith Relay. We have an unlimited use license. That client can be downloaded and installed as many times as we wish. And anybody we care to let do it can do it. We pay in a different way. And if you have 5 computers that you use, you can put the Relay client on all of them. No limitations. So let's see. I got that download. All I have to do is run it. It's a very quick install. You do have to have install rights. Fred's right about that. And this machine's doing a lot right now, so it may take a moment for it to start. He said. Come on. Yes, I want it to install something. Yes, Windows. It was actually installing in the background. Bada bing, quick. You never know when you're going to ask it to do one thing too many. There we go. And just finish, and you're done. And there it started the recorder for me. The icon is right here. This red, or it's a red square with a white R inside labeled TechSmith Relay. Once you start that client, you're asked to log into the system. And you'll use the login credentials we've given you for the server. Training 1 through 20. You can use those accounts if you want to. But much better for you to have your own. So let me make one for you. I'm going to log in, same account I did earlier. And I'm ready to go. First thing you look to see is that it's hearing you. While screencasts without sound can be useful, generally they're much more useful if you record sound, especially if you intended to. With Relay, you can tell right off the bat by looking at your audio input level here. If that little meter is going nuts, because I'm shouting, you're great. If you don't see anything here, go up to the menu bar at the top of the recorder window and select the audio. And if you have multiple microphones, you'll see all of them. And I want to make sure I'm using the one in the webcam here because that's a better microphone. The microphone built into my laptop's crap. So I click on that to make sure. I was using that, but I'll make sure. I've actually forgotten to do that a couple of times and ended up with something that I really wanted to keep that had crappy sound. So Think of that. Now, I'm ready to record. I know it's hearing me. I do have a couple of things I have to do first. However, I have to select what's called a recording or a presentation profile. TechSmith Relay is an incredibly automated system. It's going to do almost everything for you except the talking and the choosing of what to record. One of these days you're going to feel a little hand coming up your back and it's going to use you like a meat puppet, but not yet. I'm going to do that every time. It used to be called Camtasia Relay. It's now called TechSmith Relay. CamSmith Relay will publish automatically to 3 places. Our system will. One option is our local media server. It will publish your recordings to the local media server even if you don't have a folder on the media server. If you're just starting out and you say, I'd like to publish to Online 2, which is our local media server, when it publishes, it'll make the folder for you. It's that automated. And it'll drop your video into it. And it will tell you what the link is to get to the video. The second thing it'll publish to is a hosting service provided by TechSmith called Screencast.com. Screencast.com can be used for free with limited use. That is, for free, TechSmith will give you 2 gigabytes of storage and 2 gigabytes of bandwidth a month. If you use it more than that, you have to pay. It's $10 a month for up to 30 gigabytes of storage, 25 or 30, can't remember for sure, and like 250 gigabytes of bandwidth, which if you use more than that, you are a screencasting fool, and we'll take up a collection. We'll pay for more bandwidth for you. But that's a very effective hosting service, and it is optimized for screencasting, as the name suggests, but it does, if you use it extensively, it does cost some money, where Online 2 is free to you. And the third place it will publish to is YouTube. And that's free and unlimited. You can put as much video on YouTube as you want. They can be within reasonable limits. They can be as long as you want. They don't have a 15-minute limit anymore, not for a long time, not if you've validated your account. And you can, as many people as you want can play it back, and you never get charged for extra bandwidth. So YouTube is our go-to solution for video hosting. There's one circumstance in which you do not want to use YouTube. I'll just mention that because that's going to come up sooner or later today. Under certain circumstances, if we meet certain criteria, we may post all or part of copyrighted videos online for educational purposes, as long as we meet certain criteria. Like only the students in the class can see it. It can't be downloaded and stored. The video has to be part of your primary instruction. It can't be a supplementary video that you want people to watch. It has to be something that you would play in class. But within those limitations, we can put copyrighted videos online and your students can watch them through Blackboard, as long as they have to enter a password to get in and validate that they are one of your students. We've put full-length feature films online for film classes in this using, it's called the Teach Act. But you can't do that with YouTube. If you put a copyrighted video on YouTube, YouTube has a daemon that goes through and scans for that, and they will recognize it as such. The best explanation I can give you is magic. And they will find it, and they will disable it, and they will put your tuckus in YouTube purgatory for 90 days.
How do you know about that, Dave?
Ask me how I know about that, Katie. I've been rehabilitated. My 90 days have passed. I wasn't trying to share a copyrighted video on YouTube. I was trying to get YouTube to caption it for me. I thought it would caption it before they caught it. I was wrong. Don't do it. Don't put a copyrighted video on YouTube. But we can legally do that if we meet those criteria I mentioned. And for that, we have to use online too. Other than that, I can't really think of a reason not to use YouTube.
Now, there's two YouTube choices up there. Do we upload to your YouTube account without captioning, so it captions? That's the one we use, right?
That's the one you used.
Yeah.
The other option is there from the time when YouTube didn't have automatic captions. Camtasia Relay, TechSmith Relay, has its own captioning tools, and you can use those. And some people like them. The caption editor in Relay is the best I know of. And it uses voice recognition to create the captions, but the voice recognition, initially at least, is quite poor. It has to learn your voice and your vocabulary over time by you editing the captions within Relay and telling it what it missed. And you do that for 10 or 15 videos, it gets scary good. But quite frankly, YouTube, the caption editor in YouTube is just about as easy to use. It is less hassle, so we're just recommending using the YouTube and uploading to YouTube without captioning and let YouTube do the captioning. Notice that if you upload the online too, it's going to make you do the captions. We're not going to show that today. That's going to be part of our captioning course later on. But I'm just going to upload to YouTube without captioning. And that's what I recommend you do in most cases, unless you're putting something on online too. And some people just don't want to use YouTube. But realize that if you put your video on YouTube and make it unlisted, it's functionally equivalent to putting it on online too. No one can find that video unless you give them the URL. And they can't guess that URL because it's created randomly. It's a bunch of random letters and numbers. It's safe. Your video is safe on YouTube. When I say safe, I mean that people are not going to find it unless you give them the link to it. There is one possible concern with YouTube, and that is once they find it, if it's on YouTube, they can download it. There are ways to download YouTube videos using third-party tools that come out of places like Lithuania and things like that. You can download just about any video from YouTube if you know how to find and use the tools. So that's a concern. If it's something that you really don't want people getting copies of, you probably don't want to put it on YouTube. Though most people are not going to know how to do that. So we're going to go to YouTube. I do have to give it a title. It can be anything. Screencasting Seminar Example. What's today? 2/26/16. I can call anything I want. And I can optionally add a description. Or you can go in and add the description in YouTube later if you prefer. But you do have to put in some sort of title. Geez. Seems like I've been talking a long time, but that actually takes about 10 seconds. To load the client, maybe 30 if you figure logging in. Bring up the client, log in, make sure that the audio is working. give it a, select a profile and give it a title. 30 seconds tops, and you're ready to record. If anybody asks me how you record, I'm going to be worried. Big red button that says rec. Counts you down. Notice it seems smart enough to move the little recorder out of the way. Now we're recording in Camtasia Relay. Anything that I bring up on the screen here will get picked up. Let's see. I'm sharing my screen. Where my little video window went? Oh, let's just bring up Firefox. I can go to Blackboard. I can log in. Better not let this laptop fall in the wrong hands. And once I'm in Blackboard, I can show you that in Blackboard, if you need to know how to do something in Blackboard, you're not sure how to do it, you can just go to the Open on Demand at SDCCD tab, click on that, and bada bing, you are taken to our OER site, our Open Educational Resources On Demand Video site, and you can learn to do a lot of different things. You can learn to do what we're doing here right now. You can learn basic Blackboard skills. You can even learn how to use Canvas. Katie just put up another Canvas video yesterday in preparation for the possibility of us moving to Canvas. No, we don't know if we're going to do that yet, but we're preparing for the eventuality. All of that can be pulled up right from within Blackboard anytime you need it. And then you can go right back to Blackboard. Okay, that's something useful, and that's a useful little screencast. Now I just need to stop my recording. And it gives me a preview of the recording. I can play a little bit of that back to make sure it worked. Notice it seems smart enough to move the little recorder out of the way. Now we're recording in Camtasia Relay. Anything that I bring up on the screen here will get picked up.
Seems
Let's
good.
see. Recorded. I'm sharing my screen. Where's my little... I really don't want all my little video window went. No, let's just bring up Firefox. Okay. Everything up to that point was kind of useless. Let's say I don't want that. Well, I can go, and I can go to by the way, this is the only video editing you can do in Camtasia Relay. This is the major limitation to Camtasia Relay. You can't edit the screencast. That's going to be true with the other tool that we're creating today as well. If you want to edit your screencasts in any more ways than what I'm about to show you here, you have to use a more sophisticated screencasting tool. The one I would recommend is Camtasia from TechSmith. There's a version for the PC and a version for the Mac. They both have very powerful video editors built into them. Those packages, alas, are not free. They're available on all of these computers here in the lab, and we have a little recording studio next door where you can use it as well. They're also available at Mesa in the faculty work area on the 4th floor of the LRC. But if you want to use them at free, if you want to use them at home, you got to pay. The educational price on Camtasia for the Mac is $75. It's a little less capable than the PC version, which is called Camtasia Studio and is $179. And you can buy those online, download it, install it, and be using it in 30 seconds. Well, maybe 5 minutes. You can get free trials of both Camtasia Mac and Camtasia Studio from the TechSmith website that will work for 30 days. And you can keep what you produce. But you just can't produce new, you can't use the software after 30 days. But Camtasia Relay has very little video editing capability built in. The only video editing capability is this trimming here that you see, this trimming button. It allows you to trim a piece off the beginning of the video and a piece off the end. I can activate that just by clicking on the trimming tool, and the little icon on the left sets the start point at wherever the playback cursor is, where we stop playing. So that's what I want. And that will trim off the first part of that clip. Then I can go to the end and see if I need to trim anything off the end. Yeah, I don't need to see that recorder app, Screencast. Stop talking by that point, so I can I can trim off the back end as well. And that's all I can do. Fred.
Snag it.
Pardon?
Snag it through.
Snagit is another tool that we'll talk about in a little while. Indeed, another screencasting tool, which is yeah, we'll talk about it. Okay, so optionally, whoops, let me make that go away. Optionally, I have trimmed the tool, or trimmed the clip. At this point, I have two choices. If I decide that this recording was a piece of hammered crap and I want to start over again, I can discard it and start over again. The other option is submit. Wow. And if you picked a profile like this one that doesn't involve captioning within TechSmith Relay, you're done. It's done. You can go on and make the next recording or catch up on your Yahoo Mail or whatever, and this video is going to be online in just a couple of minutes. Relay will tell you when that happens. It will send you an email, because when we create your account, we put the email address of your choice in there. This one, I believe, is sending to my district account. I should have checked that, so let's find out. Not there yet. We'll see it in a little while. I can also always just log into YouTube and look for it. So the email dialog is not critical, though the email, as you'll see in a little bit, is going to contain the YouTube URL. You don't even ever have to go to YouTube. That's something just arrived. Let's see if that was it. Yep. Your Camtasia Relay presentation is ready. There's some propaganda from Online Pathways. And there's a link to the video on YouTube. There's also a link to a backup of the video. We learned to do this the hard way. Early on, when we first started using Camtasia Relay, someone recorded a 20-minute presentation, spent a couple hours captioning it in Camtasia Relay, and uploaded it to YouTube. And let it upload to YouTube. They'd use the YouTube profile. Well, we didn't realize that the person had not validated their YouTube account. The video is 20 minutes. YouTube, an unvalidated account, only allows uploads of 15 minutes or less. The video uploaded from Relay to YouTube, YouTube says, I got it, and Relay deletes it from the server. YouTube then started processing the video. 5 minutes, no problem. 10 minutes, no problem. 15 minutes, whoa, this is an unvalidated account. YouTube threw it away. It was gone. That's never going to happen again. You get a backup, just in case that we can recover, that you can recover if you have Camtasia Studio. And the another thing you can do with this Camtasia Studio recording is that you can edit it. You can download that recording, drop it into a computer that has Camtasia Studio on it, drop this recording into Camtasia Studio, and proceed to do sophisticated video editing if you desire. So that's always an option for you. You can create the video at home, you can use it as is, and if you decide later you want to do some fancy stuff with it, you can come in here and we can help you with that. And you can use our copies of Camtasia Studio. Or if you really get into it, you can buy your own for $179. But let's see if it's on YouTube. And I can go to Blackboard. And I can log in. Better not let this laptop fall into the wrong hand. And once I'm in Blackboard, I can show you that in Blackboard, if you need to know how to do something in Blackboard, you're not sure how to do it, you can just go to the Open on Demand at SDCCD tab, click on that, and bada bing, you are taken to our OER site, our Open Educational Resources On Demand Video site, and you can learn to do a lot of different things. You can learn. At no time did my fingers leave my hands. All I did was record the video, optionally trim it, don't have to do that, and hit submit. And now it's on YouTube. And within minutes, not quite yet, but within minutes it will be captioned.
It's doing the captioning.
It's doing the captioning as we speak. There's a daemon, a automatic process that runs through all new videos that get uploaded. Once in a blue moon, YouTube will fail to caption a video, usually because the sound's so bad that it just can't make it out. Occasionally, I've seen it not captioned when the thing was too long. But I've had it captioned 1.5-hour videos, though, so very unlikely that it's not going to caption. And folks, that's all there is to screencasting with Camtasia Relay. Run through that again real quick. And then I'm going to let you try that while we take our break. We'll go all the way back. We'll go to the desktop. There's the Camtasia Relay client icon. It's very characteristic. Double click. Log in. Training 1 through 20. Pick something in the middle. Select a profile. I recommend upload to YouTube without captioning. Title. And hit record. Oh, and make sure that it can hear you. And that's all there is to it. That's all there is to screencasting. The hard part, obviously, is figuring out what to record and what you want to say about it. But you do that every day in the classroom. You all are the professionals at that sort of thing. So for you, that's not going to be a terrible challenge. The technology is definitely not going to be a challenge. Questions? I'm sorry, I can't make it any harder than that.
Hold on, let me check the chat.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I was just about to do the same thing. I can't really check it from here. I've got my screen share.
If you get Camtasia Studio, I mean, if we purchase it, do they give you an account that you upload to, or just automatically?
Okay, the question is, if you buy Camtasia Studio, do you get a hosting account with it? No, but you can have a free hosting account at TechSmith's service, Screencast.com, whether you buy Camtasia Studio or not. You can just go to www.screencast.com and sign up. And you get 20 gigs of bandwidth, or 2 gigs of bandwidth a month, which is a lot, but it's not enough if you have 10 videos and you have 100 students and they're all watching those videos. It's not going to be enough. But on the other hand, you don't need a hosting account because you have, on Online 2, we try to limit you to 10 gigabytes of storage, but we don't do a very good job of that. There's one music professor whose name I will not utter, who is one of our best users, who has quite a bit more than 10 gigabytes of video on Online 2, and he uses it so well that we don't mess with it. So we're probably not going to mess with you either. And YouTube is completely unlimited, and you can have that for the asking as well. And we have on our Get Real site a tutorial. Matter of fact, the first on the home page, the very first tutorial you see on this site is how to create your own YouTube account if you don't have one. So hosting is not a problem. Okay, we're going to take a short, Katie.
There's a question from Ron asking about Pinnacle Studio. Is that something that you mentioned, or can you say about that?
Thank you very much. Ron, I'll be happy to address that. As a matter of fact, I have Pinnacle Studio on this laptop. Pinnacle Studio is a low-end video editor. It's a decent product. It costs about $100, and sometimes with certain some hardware, it'll come with Pinnacle Studio.
Oh, he's saying he was making a remark, not asking a question.
Oh, okay.
I just got to a little late and see the content.
Thank you. Yeah, Pinnacle Studio is okay. The editor in Pinnacle Studio is nowhere near as powerful as the one in Camtasia Studio, though. If you're going to get serious about video editing and you don't want to spend a ton of money and a ton of time learning it, Camtasia Studio is absolutely your best bet. It's easy to use, yet it has unbelievable power, editing power. We do periodically offer courses in editing video with Camtasia Studio. And if you've got an iron fundament and a lot of patience, you can go on the Get Real site to Workflows That Work, Camtasia to YouTube and beyond. Go down to I'm Ready to Practice, open that up, and it's here somewhere. This video right here, Screencasting with Jing and Camtasia Studio, is a full-length recording of a presentation I gave to the National Business Educators Association conference in LA about 2.5 years ago, but it's still valid. The software hasn't changed significantly since then. It's 2 hours of video, but it will show you how to edit and do most common editing tasks in Camtasia Studio. Also, Camtasia, you can go to TechSmith.com and go to Help, Tutorials, Camtasia, Windows Tutorials, or Mac, depending on which version you're using. And there is everything you could possibly want to know about Camtasia Studio for free. Tutorials made with Camtasia Studio. That's probably more than you wanted to know. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and change out the recording here. I worry a little bit about Zoom recordings that run more than an hour, or much more than an hour, so I'm going to, once I find it, I'm going to, back to meeting, there we go, stop my share, I'm going to kill that recording. Okay, welcome back. Actually, because of a defect in the human part of the system, we didn't capture this segment of the live session, so we're just going to re-record it here. Probably take a little less time. It'd be a little less time you have to spend watching. In this section of the seminar, we're going to talk about the second primary screencasting tool that we're presenting today in this seminar. That's one called Screencast-O-Matic. Screencast-O-Matic is a free web-based screencasting tool. Doesn't require any client installation, as Camtasia Relay did, and it's every bit as free to you or to anyone, and it's an excellent functional tool. If we, let me share my screen here, and we'll pull up a web browser. All we have to do is pull up a web browser window and go to www.screencast-o-matic.com. And it's not hard to tell how to get started here. I just punch start recording. And the webcam recorder begins to load. You just have to click OK. Actually, the screen recorder begins to load. This screen recorder does require a Java runtime environment. It is a Java, client-side Java-based tool. That's not a problem on most PCs, though you might have to update your JRE if you haven't done that in a while. Some new Macs are not coming with Java runtime environments, so you may have to request that the Mac OS load that. But most computers these days have a functional Java runtime environment because there's so many things that still require it. Alrighty, so our Screencast-O-Matic recorder is ready to go. The first thing, as with TechSmith Relay, is we want to make sure it's hearing us. And as you can see down here under narration, it's quite obvious that it is. We're getting some reflection or deflection on the microphone meter here. We can, if we have multiple microphones, we can select the one we want to use. This one seems to be working just fine. And we can decide whether or not to record computer audio. That is something that, if you want to do that, which is quite useful from time to time, you do have to pay for a pro Screencast-O-Matic account. And for that, the dog robbers want all of $15 a year. So if you decide you like Screencast-O-Matic, that's not going to be a huge hurdle. And indeed, there's some other benefits to having a pro account that we're just going to use the free account here to show you how functional it is. But there's nothing wrong with paying $15 a year for that either. All right, now we're convinced it's hearing us. Let's make sure that we're going to record what we want to record. We can adjust the portion of the screen. And this is something you can't do in TechSmith Relay. We can decide to record part of the screen rather than the entire screen. And the part of the screen that's going to record is going to be this section inside these dotted lines. Well, fine. I just like to record the entire screen as a general rule, maybe not the Windows taskbar. That way I don't have to wonder about whether something I'm seeing is going to be recorded or not. I just get everything. There's not a huge reason to record less than the full screen at this point in time. All right. Using Screencast-O-Matic, we can record just the screen, or we can record just the webcam. And my webcam's in use right now by Zoom, so we're going to see that. Or I can record both the webcam and the screen. Again, I'm using my webcam for Zoom. I could change that and use a different webcam if I wanted to, but at any rate, you can record yourself at the same time you're recording the screen with Screencast-O-Matic, just as you could with TechSmith Relay. Let's just record the screen. And now there's not much to it. All I have to do to start recording is press the record button, the big red button down in the lower left corner. Let's do that. We'll get counted down. And we're recording. Everything that you see on the screen will be recorded. So I could bring up another web browser window. I could go to Blackboard. I could log in. I could do something on Blackboard once Blackboard responds. It's being used heavily this morning, I'm sure. There we go. Most of the way. So I could go into a course in Blackboard and show my students something about that course. I could pull up the syllabus. And go over that with them, or whatever I wanted to do. Point is, again, that anything you see on your computer screen will be recorded along with your voiceover for later viewing. Alrighty, let's go ahead and we got a little pause button down here available to us at all times. Let's go ahead and end this recording by clicking that. And we can preview it. And we're recording. Everything that you see on the screen will be recorded. Seems to have worked. When we're satisfied that we've recorded what we thought we did, we can just click Done. And once we click Done, we get another preview of the recording. We can see the sound waveform here. We can play again. And we're recording. Everything that you see on the screen will be recorded. Everything seems fine there again. And in this case, we also get our options that will allow us to publish this recording. We can save it as an MP4 video file to our local hard drive. We want to do that. We might do that if we wanted to edit the recording in something like Camtasia Studio or Adobe Premiere, or if we just wanted to keep a copy for ourselves. You can upload directly to Screencast-O-Matic's hosting service. This is kind of analogous to TechSmith Relay's Screencast.com option. It's okay, you can do that if you want, but
quite likely you're going to want to upload to YouTube. YouTube is really the hosting service of choice in most cases, as we've already said. So to upload to YouTube, we just click Upload to YouTube. And if we're not already logged into our Google account, we'll be prompted to do so, but we are. And at this point, all we have to do to put this up on YouTube is just click the green Publish button. And the recording proceeds to upload to YouTube, be processed by YouTube, and be available on YouTube within a very short period of time. And we're done. The recording is now on YouTube. It may still be getting processed in YouTube, but we can find out by just opening the upload. Yep. But it'll be ready in a few minutes. We could also have just opted to get the URL, but we can always get that right here under the video page in YouTube by clicking Share and hitting Control-C. Put it on the clipboard, and if we want to view it, we can just send it to someone by email. We can put it on a web link in Blackboard, wherever we want. Let's see if it's finished yet. Looks like it.
And we're recording. Everything that you see on the screen will be recorded. So I could have another web browser.
There it is, being played from YouTube. So the process of publishing to YouTube is almost automatic. All you have to do is hit the green button and wait. Again, YouTube hosting is going to be just as good as anything else you can get, and within a few minutes this will also be roughly captioned, and you can just go in later and edit the captions and have a fully functional, accessible video ready for your students to view anytime they want, as often as they want. They can do instant replay with it, rewind, play over something several times to make sure they get a point. And it's all free to you. So that's all there is to recording with Screencast-O-Matic and publishing to YouTube. All right, now we're going to we'll talk about briefly about a few more screencasting tools that you may find useful.